repeatedly being fed a story, and I'm listening for the end of the story, and I'm like, okay, cool. What we gonna do after this? Do you know what I mean? Like, you tell, and literally, I learned that women just like to vent. It's not necessarily that you want to have a conclusion to the end. You just like to vent. But I'm looking at it like, okay, cool, that happened. I'm gonna fix it like this. No, but that's not. I just wanted to talk. You just want to vent, and I'm like, we don't communicate like that. Yeah. Literally, like, men don't communicate that. When we vent to our other men.
Exactly.
I'll vent to Ish. Do you get me? Like, I'll speak to Ish.
I feel like we can't as well because, you know, like, that's time, you know.
Yeah, it's like we just communicate differently. I just think we need to stop calling people misogynistic and patriarchal and all this kind of stuff, and just understand that we are wired differently. Our brains are wired differently.
I feel like it's a generalization, and you're also missing out people who don't really conform to any sort of gender norms, and people who aren't with someone who of an opposite gender. And it's, I don't know, like you say, women do this and women do that, but
there are women who take the masculine role in relationships and fulfill that role, and men still have feminine energies even if you want to
here we go, man. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. What does one have to do with the other? They were triggered to speak up for the shit he's not even talking about, man. He's talking about the majority of men and women and how they interact. The majority, they are this way. And the majority of motherfuckers know. It's just these little, I don't know what you call these, man. These little fucking liberal, feminist, 2022 Gen Zer motherfuckers who got life all fucked up, man. That mentality is what's fucking society up right now. That's it right there. When she feels like these people are being attacked because they're not being included with where the majority sit. Like, what's the point? What's the point of bringing that up? He wasn't even talking about that at all. Like, god damn. God damn, that shit's irritating the fuck out of me, bro. Here we go with the bullshit.
Masculine role in relationships and fulfill that role, and men still have feminine energies even if you want to deny it and repress it out of them. They still have that emotional body, and just because they don't necessarily have the same language communicated, it's still there. And having that emotional space to be vulnerable with each other is so important in a relationship. You can't be vulnerable with the person you're with.
But
what are you doing?
Women like yourself are creating feminine men. That's my point.
Facts.
You're creating.
Are you?
In my opinion,
Yeah,
you know, masculine men start wars. So I'd rather the feminine who doesn't start the war.
And then that feminine man gonna get his motherfucking ass whooped by the damn masculine men who start the fucking wars. The fuck? It's just survival of the fittest, king of the hill type shit. But they don't fucking know. They don't fucking know. She's been brainwashed by all this fucking bullshit. I was sitting here trying to like see through her eyes where it's like, why you feel so triggered to speak up for the minority? And he was literally not talking about that at all. He's talking about the majority of people out here. What's the point of going from this to that? That's just hot topic right now to talk about this shit, which had nothing to do with what the fuck he's talking about.
Honest.
Women have started more wars.
Men start a lot of wars because of bloody women.
Because of women. It's the men starting it still, though, just because a woman has caused it. Because a man, you know, Helen of Troy and whatnot, of her beauty and all that.
But when you say you want, like, the masculine role, sometimes the women take the masculine role.
Yeah, but
that's not the natural
not
role
necessarily
for a woman
with a man, sometimes with a woman as well.
So
but it
what
can
if
happen with a man who's a bit more feminine.
So what if a woman was transgender and she transitioned, then she's not naturally like a man? So then what? Is that bad?
Say that again?
So if a woman is...
Who cares? Who fucking cares, bro? God damn. No, hold on. Just keep talking. Just keep talking. Why I do this shit to myself? Woo, I'd have to get up and walk away, bruh. Y'all talk about shit that don't mean nothing. This don't mean nothing. That ain't what he fucking talking about.
Whatever. She maybe comes to a realization, or she's felt it her whole life, and then she transitions, and now she's a man. She's not a natural...
She's not a man.
She's not...
She's a woman.
She's a biological female.
She's a biological female. She's not a man.
Biological female. But genders.
I mean, you're right.
Right,
I don't like the way you're saying it from, in the sense of they are...
They are biological females.
It's a biological female.
But you're talking about
masculinity is still there.
What I'm saying,
masculinity is still there.
What I'm saying is, you think that a man who doesn't behave manly is wrong. So a man who transitions to a woman and then behaves womanly, is he wrong? Is that bad for society? Is that detrimental?
Because okay, so if we flipped it, right? If we said all the women in society now act masculine and all the men now act feminine, how do you think society would run?
But it's not all men and women.
No, I'm just saying, because you think it's okay. So I'm saying, if you flip the roles, if you say all women act like men and all men act like women, how do you think society's going to run?
not realistic.
That doesn't answer what I'm saying. You didn't answer.
Because what you saying is irrelevant as shit, motherfucker. What he's talking about still it goes along with what he was initially talking about, because he's making a generalization for the majority. Most men act this way. Most women act this way. So we take your fucking stance and flip it into what the fuck you talking about, and men are here acting like women and women are acting like men. What's gonna fucking happen in society? He's just taking what the fuck you are saying and applying it to what he was initially talking about. But nah, you don't want to go there because you just fixated on talking about the fucking minority, which does not matter with giving this conversation y'all fucking having. You're just on some fucking feminist bullshit.
Make it make sense to me. If a biological man
Became a woman.
you can't become a woman, but okay, become a woman.
And then was behaving girly. Is that wrong?
Well,
Because
it's not
you
natural,
said-
is it?
But is it wrong? Is it bad for society? Is that what you're saying?
Of course it is.
Well, then your views are just
Of course it's wrong.
biased and
it's
prejudiced and
unnatural to
silly,
society.
really. That's
Why is that silly? Why?
Here we go.
What's more silly?
Here we go.
What's more silly than a man thinking that he's a woman?
They fucking reeled you in, dog. They fucking reeled you in, bro. They on here. They about to try to motherfucking cast you with this transphobic devil, dog. They got you. Let's see how you get about this bitch. It just got good. Let's get it.
Why is that silly? Why?
Yeah.
What's more silly? What's more silly than a man thinking that he's a woman?
Oh wow!
Like, isn't that
what's
silly?
Like,
Isn't that
if
silly?
it was so completely unfathomable, it
my
just
God,
wouldn't
mate.
exist. Like, it exists, and there's a spectrum of gender, right? And people choose how
all right,
masculine.
so are you telling me?
how they feel.
Are you telling me that I can be a woman?
I'm asking
Because there's a difference
Get out
between
of
being
here,
male
man.
and female and being a man and a woman.
Get me
You
out of
know?
here.
No,
What?
it's not.
Because
So
It's the
you're
same
telling
shit.
me-
is this not a debate? Is
So
it
hang
not
on
a conversation?
No, but hang on a minute.
Get her out of here.
Are you a woman?
Then masculinity. Fuck this. I'm just here to watch these stupid motherfuckers talk this dumb shit.
Hang on, you're telling me.
Is this not a debate? Is
So
it
hang
not
on
a conversation?
No, but hang on a minute.
Get her out of here.
Are you a woman?
Sorry.
It was
Are you a
it was a phrase.
Am I a woman?
He's not trying to.
Are
It's
you a
just a
woman?
phrase.
Yeah.
You're a woman.
Yeah.
So I could be you.
No, you couldn't be me because I'm a person. You're a person.
No, but
You
I'm
could-
saying I could be your gender.
Yeah, if you wanted to. If you, yeah.
Transition. It's about
Seriously.
masculinity and femininity.
No,
People
look
can
at-
embody those roles. It doesn't have to be
I can be
restricted.
your gender.
What is a
Serious,
woman?
serious, seriously.
What is a woman?
What is a woman?
I feel like in the context of this conversation, we're talking about the masculine and feminine roles, and people can
Woman
embody
is
those
a
roles.
name for gender, not sex, that someone can identify themselves with, no matter what, because it depends on your spirit, your soul, your mind, your body, everything.
So
Whatever,
how
how it works.
So how would you know if someone's a male or a female?
I wouldn't. I would ask them.
You would ask them, but like, could you make generalizations about who's who?
Well, you could-
Male and female
No, I
can't
couldn't.
change.
No, I couldn't.
Yeah,
I
if you
really
talk
can't.
about
Like-
sex, you're right, but we talk about man and
Yeah,
woman.
yeah, man
And
and
I
woman,
would say
yeah.
based on masculinity and femininity. And if you say that all
thought-
women become men in terms of fulfilling that masculine role is still
So I'll
fulfilled.
never
I just
have a
thought we
vagina.
couldn't generalize.
I'll never have a vagina.
I thought we
Could
could.
I
didn't
and
say
I'll
that.
never have.
But you're saying
Could they?
masculine. But you're
But
saying
you're telling me I could be a
masculine.
woman.
You're saying
One
masculine.
at a time. Sorry. I really.
You might not be able
Okay,
to afford the surgery yet.
Hold up.
Right?
Over
Or
here.
you might just want to keep that. You might be intersex.
The
You
mics
might.
are off. Bit.
Sorry, let me just get back to this because this is something that really it grinds my gears, right? You're telling me that as a man who has been biologically born a man with a penis and 2 testicles, you're telling me that I can be a woman.
Yes.
If you want to.
And you're now telling me also that a woman that with breasts, a womb, vagina, you can be a man.
If you're out there and you want
How?
to, you can.
Yes.
you can. Just
No,
putting that
no,
out
no.
there.
How?
I think it could be a remix.
Any way that you want.
Because you could do whatever the fuck you want to do and be whatever you want, bro. These motherfuckers are stupid. It will be the result of the destruction of society here. Guarantee with this stupid ass mindset where you can be whatever the fuck you think you are, and motherfuckers don't address you as what the fuck you think you are, then you the devil. Man, fuck out of here. Fuck out of here, bro. I hope this man give them the business.
I'm a man.
Yeah.
Right? I know what it is to be a man. We've got 3 men in here. There's absolutely no way you could be us. We know that as men. There's no way you could be us.
I could identify as a man.
I don't care what you identify as. You're not a man.
Nope.
Cool.
It doesn't matter what you identify as. You're not a man.
So you going off on this rant has told me that everything that you've said before that was also prejudice and bias, and I really don't respect any opinion that comes out your mouth. I don't
Here
mind.
we go.
I don't mind.
I'm gonna come at this from a different level and say that I'm actually non-binary, and there are points where I fulfill a feminine role, and there are points where I fulfill a masculine role, and I switch between those energies. And
That has nothing to do with fucking being a man or goddamn being a woman, though. You can be a goddamn feminine ass man and still know what the fuck it is to experience life as a male. But they got me. I've spoken on this shit so many goddamn times. They're conflating too many things at once. We're talking about men, talking about female, male, and then gender roles, and then masculinity and femininity and all this shit, man. Like, at the end of the day, you can be a biological male, soft as fuck, feminine as hell, but you still know what the fuck it is to walk around this earth as a fucking man. A woman will never fucking know that. You can't look at it through those eyes. You experience things that a biological man has had to experience, you know what I mean, that literally forms men into being man through these experiences and shit. You don't have those. I don't know, you just feel masculine. Y'all conflating too much shit, but whatever. We all know what the fuck it is. You're a fucking man, woman, trans woman, all this gender fluidity bullshit where y'all are a fucking unicorn one day and a spirit animal the next day and a furry the fucking next day. Y'all can miss me with that shit. You just wake up and we supposed to accommodate how the fuck you feeling this goddamn day. No, you kiss my ass with that shit. We're not about to play that. Like, I'm over all this dumb shit. I'm so glad Buddy is holding these motherfuckers accountable because y'all sound crazy. And since you can't fucking explain yourself, then all you gonna do is go on the attack, on the offensive, and try to cast somebody as a bigot or transphobic or some shit because you don't like the truth. The world does not revolve around you. You can live in your home world. You can live in your world how you see fit. But you can't force motherfuckers to move the way you want them to move to make you feel better about what the fuck you doing. Don't work that goddamn way. And that's all that shit is at the end of the day. When whomever the fuck it is sees the world the way they see the world, but then expects the world to accommodate how the fuck they see the world. Like, literally think the world revolves around you. And that's not the fucking where we live in. That's not where we live. It's not how it is. That's not how it's ever gonna fucking be. You can expect people to be considerate, be nice to you, and tell you what you want to hear, but it's gonna be motherfuckers that's not playing that game with you. Like, you a man? Okay, you got a dick. All right, you ain't no fucking man. You something else. Not what I am. And then motherfuckers are free within their rights or whatever the fucking say how they fucking feel. If you got the right to fucking be how you want to be and identify with whatever the fuck you identify with, anybody has the right to fucking say how they feel about you. That's how it works, both ways. Fuck out of here.
Both feel equally comfortable to me and equally, like, I'm not saying I could transition to a man because I'm not transgender, but it's about the masculinity and the femininity, which transcends sex.
Do you have a vagina?
Yes, I do.
Facts. All it comes down to all this bullshit you're talking about.
That's none of your business.
By this logic, can I identify as black?
Yeah.
No.
Oh my god.
Why not?
Why
No.
not?
Completely.
No.
Why not?
It's not the same thing.
Why
Why
not?
isn't it?
Because it's racist.
It's how I
Race is
feel.
different.
It's how I feel.
Because
Yeah,
I feel
race?
I can identify as Pearl because I can identify as a white woman.
that's silly.
We don't-
That is
No.
something that someone.
That's silly, yup. What you mean? It's literally the same shit. It's literally the same shit, but it's silly because you got caught. It's literally the same shit. Like, their response to the race comparison is the response from the world to what the fuck they saying. It's literally the same shit. That's funny as fuck, but they don't see it. Somehow, gender and sex is different. It's special. It's the one thing that can be distinguished from everything else. Nah, fam, if you can identify as a fucking man, I can identify as a fucking butterfly. And ain't that part of the whole little gender fluid spectrum? You literally can identify with whatever the fuck you want to identify as, right? Come on, man. So it's you a bigot for saying that he can't identify as a white woman. You a bigot for saying that shit.
No, it's intensive. We don't distinguish. If you talk about roles in society, we don't distinguish roles by race. We distinguish roles, as apparently by this conversation, through through gender, right? Sexuality, femininity, masculinity. That's how we define roles. We don't do that by race.
I am African
Furries.
by genetics, right? I'm African
Yeah.
by genetics. You're female by genetics. You know that, right? Right. So
Yeah.
there's no way in.
I'm not a woman by genetics. I'm a woman by choice.
By social construct.
You're a woman by genetics. You've got an XX chromosome.
Female.
No.
female.
I'm a female by
social
choice.
construct.
By
female.
genetics.
They're
You
biological
can't
females.
talk to them, bro. They
By-
gone, bro.
by
They
choice.
gone,
I
bro.
also
No,
think,
choice.
but
They gone.
By birthright.
Beyond
Yeah,
the point of no
biological.
All right.
return.
So tell me what a woman is then.
I also
A
think
woman is someone that says I am a woman.
Wow.
I also think everyone's talking in the binaries that you can either be a man or a woman. You
Yeah,
can't be
there's
like
even more.
in between. There's in betweens
Yes.
where like you can be like, oh, I've got a willy, but I really am feminine and I love typically feminine
Yeah,
things.
you're just a feminine man.
You know, I want to dress a feminine way. That doesn't. It may not even necessarily mean that you want to transition or whatever. You could just be a bit of a girly man.
Do you know what
and
you
that's
just said? You
fine.
just
Yeah,
said-
but that ain't got nothing to do with goddamn a gender binary. You just hit the nail on the head. You a fucking girly man. What's wrong with that? But y'all fucking changing words and shit. That's what the fuck it is. Y'all changing how we supposed to look at y'all. Fuck out of here.
As long as you say what you are that.
Yeah, but listen,
that's
I'm just
basically
gonna
what you
explain.
said.
when I'm
She wants to define herself.
when I'm with a woman, right, I fulfill a more masculine role. Like that's just kind of a natural energy. And when I'm with a man, I fulfill a more feminine role. It's just how I naturally switch between the two, right? Both of those are equally like valuable parts of myself, right? It's just different energies that are expressed at different times, the masculine and the feminine side. And people have different levels of them. Some are more masculine and some are more feminine, and they fulfill that role. It's not determined by biological sex. It's just not.
Yeah.
It can be. But it's gender is a construct, right? And we have different degrees of masculine and feminine energies in us. You probably
She's confining gender fluidity or whatever the fuck she's talking about to masculinity and femininity. They're separate. You can't conflate those two. That's what she's doing. Being a feminine male doesn't change your fucking gender. You're just a girly man. Being a manly man doesn't change your gender. You're just a manly man. Being a masculine woman doesn't change your gender. You're just a fucking masculine woman. Like, that's what the fuck it is. But we can't say that no more. Like, we have to have a fucking specific term over everything. Right? I mean, anyway. And it's like fucking 1,000 something genders now too, ain't it? So, like, she, low-key, she talking out her ass.
probably have more masculine, and that's fine. But other people, men especially, do have more feminine energy, and there shouldn't be a judgment on that.
No.
Everyone has their role in society. Everywhere has their place.
I also
just
think
want-
it's way more accepted if you're a masculine woman in society, because masculinity is so like valued and revered. But if you're a bit of a feminine man, everyone's like, oh, you're a pussy, you're a rah rah.
Yeah.
Where it's like, actually, that's fine. Like you can also
I think
exist.
if you're a
I think
masculine woman, guys
it's
won't be
accepted.
attracted
Yeah,
to
it's
that.
Guys are attracted to me.
it's accepted by other women, but it's not accepted by men.
Men
Do you know
hate
what I mean?
it.
If
Good
they're
job he's not gay
Unless
then.
it's
if they're-
feminine,
Innit?
what? And then they match.
I mean,
This is
typically
why
the
women
guys
should run
that
societies.
typically the guys that like masculine women are usually
Beta
like,
males.
They're usually like I mean the girls don't even like him.
It's
The
because
girls
they
like
can't get-
it's like those girls that hate their husbands because they have him by the balls.
Like, this is what.
Yeah,
Like,
and I know
They
you're
disagree
thinking
with
of
that, though.
But why are we
I don't know.
equating femininity with like being submissive and
Yeah.
being like
Well,
the
that's
because it
femininity
is.
is
It
incredibly
is, and there's
powerful.
nothing wrong with that.
That was rough. That was rough. I'm sorry. Bro, what can we do to bring that old thing back? I'm sick of all this dumb shit.